So we're up to Mishnah Yud. הם אמרו שלושה דברים, ולעזר אומר, יכבוד חברך, חביב עליך כשלך. The honor of your friend should be as dear to you as your own. You must show the same respect you would want for yourself. You must show to your dear friend. And he says, person should not be easily angered. Person should try to avoid getting angry. Rabbi Zino said, one of the worst things you could do for yourself spiritually is to get angry. You lose all the holiness for all the mitzvot you did when you get angry. Your soul gets lost. You get an animalistic soul. That's why you act like a behemah. You act like an animal when you're angry. And therefore he says that the fasts that you have to do tikkun for this that you got angry is actually even more than zer levatala. Zer levatala is 84. Then ka'as is over 200 fasts. So in order to do the tikkun that you did to yourself for this that you got angry. So therefore don't be so quick to get angry. Shuv yom echad lifnei mitatach. And go and repent one day before your death. When is that? You don't know. So it's every day. Every day you have to go and do Teshuva. Some people, they sing to themselves, right? They like that song. And the guy says to him, hey, it's not Elul. What are you saying? Really, the Mishnah is telling us, every day you should feel like Elul. Every day you should do Teshuva. Why is Elul any different? Do Teshuva one day before you die. When are you going to die? You never know. Take every single day like it's your last. They say, how many seconds do you have in a day? There's a mashal. Imagine I give you a deposit of $86,500 every day, and you have to spend all of it. If you don't spend it, we take it away. You go crazy to make sure you use every dollar. Much more so, your seconds of your life. You have 86,500 something seconds every day of your life. If you don't use it, it gets taken away. How much do you go? 86,400. Hazak Baruch. If you go to every way to try to utilize every single one of it and not waste it. And make sure to warm yourself by the fire of the sages. Sometimes people feel cold, feel I'm not motivated, Rabbi. I need Hayzuk. I don't really know why this mitzvah is important, Rabbi. I don't really want to do it. Rabbi, give me Hayzuk. Rabbi, patch me on the head. Tell me why I should do this. This is good. You should warm yourself up by the words of the sages. But don't become too close. What happens? He says, do not go too close. Because they're a glowing coal, and you might get burned. Meaning to say, person becomes buddy-buddy with the rabbi or with the sages, he might say something that's not appropriate. And then what? And then he becomes too friendly, disrespect them, and then you'll get punished. Hazve shalom. He goes to the rabbi, tells the rabbi, you came late today. You're slacking, rabbi. Everything's okay, rabbi? He makes these kind of jokes to the rabbi. He says, what is this? I'm your best friend. You can make these kind of jokes. The rabbi said, the rabbi, kavod the Torah. So therefore, person to make sure, don't be too close, and you might get burned. Sheni shechatan shichat shual. Their bite is the bite of a fox. The teeth of a fox is slanted. So when they pull their teeth out, they rip more flesh. So therefore, their bite is not a regular bite. Their bite is a very painful bite. Their sting is a dangerous sting of a scorpion. And their hiss is the hiss of a serpent. A serpent, not like a regular snake, it cannot be charmed or stopped once it's already angered. That's it. He's out to get you. He's locked on you. It's a heat-seeking missile already. That's it. You can't do anything about it. So therefore, so too, the honor of a sage is slighted. It's not easily appeased. And the Gemara says about one Tana, that when a person was talking about him, even after he died, somebody said the Shonara about the rabbi, then a beam was above the house, fell right away and cracked the skull in half. The person is very careful not to speak about the rabbis, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu gets involved. It's for the kavod of the Torah. And their words are like fiery coals, which means to say a person who has no respect for the Torah sages, he thinks he can start questioning their halachic rulings, using his own logic. He says, hey, rabbi, fanatiki, but these rabbis always do the halachot, it doesn't make any sense, and use his own logic. He has to make sure that you realize you're making a mistake, because the sages' Torah knowledge is like a fire inside of them, and they're very sharp, and they know what they're saying. And you should ask them questions. You should always, you don't understand something? Say, Rabbi, I don't understand. How does that make sense? Can you explain to me? Don't just jump to conclusions. Hey, it doesn't make sense. It's it. I know better than the rabbis. My stomach tells me I know more, and therefore I'm not following this halakha. No. I understand if you don't understand after you asked and he didn't explain right. Okay, I understand how you feel, but just jump to conclusions without understanding. How come your doctor, you don't question him when he gives you medicine and he gives you procedures? How come your pilot, you don't question him a million times before you go on a flight with him? How come the milk, you don't ask 50 questions about the milk before you buy it, you just assume it's good? Everything else is okay. Here, rabbis, no. So the person has to make sure he's respectful here, just like everywhere else. And if you have a question, mojna to ask. The Talmud is full of questions. All we have to do is ask.